Yo, Bisaya reader, welcome back again to another video, and for today I am going to show you the books that I tried reading the first chapters last night and earlier this morning. And if you have seen my last post or my last video, it's actually my first ever reading vlog for the year 2020. I presented you 5 books that I'm planning to read for, again, the third attempt. Try to read a chapter book tag, in which, if in case you don't know, the last time I did try a chapter book tag, out of the 5 books I um, included in the video, I read and finished reading 2 books. So it's actually a very effective way for me to finish my TBR, or to slash some books out of my TBR pile, because you're not just judging the book by its cover, by its premise, but you're actually trying to read the chapter and trying to get a grasp what the pros, what the themes are, or the mood are waiting for you in the books. So it works for me. That's why I did it for the third time. So again, this will be very quick. First off, I'm going to present to you the books that I tried to read the first chapters, and then I'm going to present to you again these books by ranking from the 5th down to the 1st. The ranking will means that the 5th one will be least of my favorite, or least of, the last book I can see myself reading. So probably the first or second book on the list, I'm going to read it as soon as possible. So yeah, without further ado, let's start with the books that I've tried to read last night. We have All Our Yesterdays. This is a young adult science fiction fantasy. I still don't have an idea. Let me just try to establish that this is a young adult. And with regards to the genre, it can be science fiction, it can be fantasy, but based on what I've read, it might be science fiction. I don't know. And yeah, next one is Kill File by Christopher Farnsworth. This is science fiction. I think, yeah, it's science fiction, young adult also. We have Mallory Blackman's Nuts and Crosses. This is historical fiction, literary fiction. I'm still not sure, but this is a young adult one. We have literary fiction, The Vegetarian Adult by Han Kang. And the last book that I did read, its first chapter on this video, was The Crown of Feathers, young adult fantasy by Nikki Pau Preto. So yeah, let's start. So I've read all the first chapters of those books, and out of those 5, the book that I have, or I don't see myself reading as of this moment, or don't see myself enjoying reading in the next couple of days, is going to be The Vegetarian by Han Kang. So far, this try to read the first chapter book tag is probably the best batch, because I need to be honest with you guys, all the 5 books I've read with their first chapters really did catch my attention. I was hooked, I was intrigued, and even this one, even though this is the 5th one, the least of my priority, but I am still seeing myself reading this in next week or next month, because it was really intriguing. The main reason I placed it on the 5th spot is because it was really dark and weird. It was really weird. I've heard people who've read this book, who've reviewed this book, that this is going to be weird. You need to prepare yourself. By the way, this is a winner of the Man Booker Prize in 2007. And I am going to read this as my attempt to read the first ever Man Booker Prize winner. I haven't read any Man Booker Prize winner or finalist ever, and this probably will be my first. That's why I tried to include this on the try to read the first chapter book tag. It was really weird. I didn't really expect that the story will be told in the husband's perspective, because I was expecting it will be told by as the first person's perspective by the main character, or the woman itself, based on the premise. But it was really dark. The themes was, I don't know. It was really atmospheric, which is kudos to the author. It was really dark. It was really weird. I am really intrigued. That's why I was shocked that I was reading actually around 27 pages already. By the way, the first chapter of this one, guys, is 60 pages, and of course, I haven't read 60 pages because it's only around 190 pages, and then I'm going to read 60 pages. I should have read the entire book. I just read around 27 pages. I was really hooked, and I caught myself, oh, I need to stop because I've been reading this for quite a while now, and so far, was able to get the theme, the mood, the prose. One word, weird. First 27 pages was really weird. Fourth place on my plan to read soon is going to be Kill File by Christopher Farnsworth. Again, this is a really, really good first chapter. This book was really interesting, really intriguing. It really caught my attention. I was really hooked. And I was really surprised that I did enjoy it. It was so cool. It was like I was really reading a movie on the pages. I can see this one being made into a TV series or a movie. I'm really shocked that nobody's talking about this one. It does have a very good ratings and Goodreads, very good reviews, and yeah, this was really interesting. Action packed, fast paced, and mind blowing. The main reason I place this as fourth because the next three books are better than this with regards to the first chapter. The third book is going to be Oops! All Our Yesterdays by Christine Terrell. This is again dark, cold, atmospheric, young adult science fiction slash fantasy, and the plot or the premise or the things that happened in the first book was very interesting. I got myself committed to the story that I said once that I need to read the next chapters, but again, I have few chapters of the books that I need to of the other books I need to read, so I need to put this one down first. But it was really good. It was really entertaining. It was really dark, and the mood was really set. First chapter, it was really dark. It was really interesting. Yeah. Second book that I'm going to read, basically the first and second book on the list. I'm really confused. Probably any of these two will be my top priority to read as soon as possible. After Starsight by Brandon Sanderson, I just actually decided not to finish Little Prince. It's really, really thin, but I was not really into the Little Prince of this moment. So, I think second spot goes to Crown of Feathers by Nikki Pau Preto. This is a young adult fantasy, and it was really magical. The first chapter gave a lot of promises, a lot of moods, a lot of themes. It was really interesting. The first chapter really caught my attention, really made me read more. And of course, I just really have to stop. But it was really interesting. A lot of things were going on in this first chapter. There were a lot of informations, but it was not, it did not give you the impression of info dumping. It was just there's a lot of information, but all of those informations were really crucial for you to really appreciate the world, to really appreciate the magic system, and also the characters. There were only two characters that was presented, with some back characters that was introduced, but we just follow or we just experienced or saw two characters on the first chapter. But the author was able to establish the baseline of these characters, so we can really see moving forward how these characters are going to make their decisions and how are they really motivated. That's how awesome the first chapter of this book is. It's really magical and it's really promising. I can't really wait to read this. And of course, on top of my list, again, it could be the Crown of Feathers, it could be this one, but I guess Nuts and Crosses will be on my top list for my TBR. This one caught me by surprise. So I'm just going to put this as the first place due to surprise element, I think. I did not see myself reading under this genre, literary fiction or historical fiction, because I'm looking for something fantasy, something sci-fi, something really entertaining, something that will really take me into a new world. But I didn't really expect that I'll be enjoying this one. With regards to historical fiction and under this genre, similar to this one, it's kind of boring and kind of slow pace. But boy, the first chapter of this book is like an entire season of a teleserie. There's a lot going on without you being exhausted. You just have to, I just caught myself flipping pages and flipping pages, and it was like the end of the first chapter was like, whoa, what just happened? Like the first chapter of this one, there's a lot of things going on. Um, Characters were presented, backstory were presented. Author was able to present the themes and the mood and the story in a perfect, you know, way without really making things complicated. And overall, this one won because of the prose. I really wanted to. I'm a little bit biased because I don't want to enjoy this because I need to read something fantasy, something sci-fi because I've just read a legal thriller. I need to do something that will take me to places, something magical. And this one, as much as I don't want to love this or enjoy this, the prose, boy, the Mallory Blackman's writing style is close to perfection. You need to read this in order for you to appreciate it, but I was able to appreciate it after reading the first chapter, and that's how promising this book is, and that is why I'm going to read this as soon as possible. So, as of this moment, I'm just going to commit myself or to you guys. I'm going to read this before March ends, these two books. Probably by the start of April, I'm going to read this. Probably before this year ends, Victorian. But again, top of my list is going to be Knots and Crosses by Mallory Blackman and The Crown of Feathers by Nikki Palpreto. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. That was another successful read a chapter book tag. And yeah, again, stay safe. Don't forget to wash your hands, take your medicines, take your vitamins, stay at home if it's possible. Don't forget to pray. Keep reading, enjoy reading. My name is Joel, and bye-bye.